brought me sprinkle cookies.
So what, no fucking TV now?
Hey!
Maybe she's from Jersey.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Maybe She's from Jersey. We're your hosts, Alex Curtis.
And Jackie Neese.
And we have...
I want to introduce our guest.
Okay, go ahead. We're really excited, obviously.
We're really excited, if you can tell. So we have such a special guest with us today. We are so excited she's here. We are sitting here with Gabby Catania.
What's up?
Also our advertisement of the day. Our Jersey spot is not a coffee shop, not a food spot, but we figured this would go perfect today with Gabby because she's clearly an animal lover. We are shouting out Halfway Home Animal Rescue. They are a rescue shelter in New Jersey. We're going to let Gabby tell you guys a little bit more about that. It's super incredible, and welcome, Gabby.
Halfway is really great. So they take special needs cases. They take really, really urgent medical cases. They take super seniors. Like literally dogs are 20. Like that's fine. Bring them in.
Yeah,
they're great.
That.
That's awesome.
So they literally say no to no one. They will take anything.
And where are they?
They're based in Hewitt right now. They're calling it the Halfway Home. And they take literally everything. Dogs, cats. They have a pig. Yeah, they've got everything.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So, and they're the best. So they do a lot of really good
We're going to
work.
shout them out on our Instagram. We're going to post something here as well.
Yeah.
Please check them out. Support them. Like, we're such big animal lovers. And honestly, if you're not an animal lover, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You made it this far.
On that.
Thanks, but bye.
Yeah. So Gabby is a woman of, can I say, many colors? I feel like there's so many things, and that's like why we wanted you on the podcast. Is because like
She's like Dolores' daughter, but like Gabby.
yeah, and
But
then
also Frankie's sister.
the identities. No, but it's also like your veterinarian experience, the love for dogs. I feel like you're so earthy, just even from like your social media and the way you are, and then you're also like super glamorous because you're on Bravo TV.
Yeah,
and
let's
it's
just,
like,
if
there's
no
just-
one knows already, like she's Dolores Catania's daughter. Like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So-
Frankie's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
feel
have
like
to
that's like
throw
my
that
number
in
one
there. Okay,
identifier
okay.
is really Frankie's sister.
That cracks me up. Funny. That cracks
Is that
me
how
up.
people like
Yes.
talk to you?
Growing
Like,
up, always they were like, "Oh, this is Frankie's sister."
And you're older.
Yes. Yeah.
No way.
Yes, like throughout our whole town.
Wow.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. but
Where'd
that's
you grow?
okay.
So tell us about you, like pre-show. Like,
Yeah.
who's Gabby?
Oh
Yeah.
man. So me and Frankie both went to Catholic school our whole life.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So we went to Most Blessed Sacrament in Franklin Lakes. We're from North Haledon. We grew up in the house that you guys see on TV.
Yeah.
We are both freeloading there now. No, I'm kidding.
Love that.
We pay rent, I swear. But we both live in Dolores' house because she doesn't live there now. I went to Catholic high school. So did Frankie. So I went to Immaculate Heart Academy. He went to Don Bosco. Yeah. So like
Wow, I didn't know
super,
that.
super. And then I went to Delaware for undergrad.
You tell, that was my first college party ever. And
I
I made,
bet
out,
it
and I
was
made out with
wild.
someone that looked like he was from Teen Wolf.
That seems really
And I was
on brand
17.
for Delaware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Delaware was the craziest 4 years of my life. So I thought, and then I got to vet school, and I was like, "Wow,
Right.
I'm alone on an island in the Caribbean.
Yeah, tell them about
this is
that.
chaotic."
Wow.
Yeah,
How does that work?
Yeah, so
first of all,
I-
vet school is actually harder to get into than med school people because
Yeah.
there's like less schools to even go to. So the percentage is way less than you would think. It's actually
yeah,
really
it's pretty
intimidating.
wild. So I think that U.S. accredited schools, and that's not even like all the schools in the U.S. That includes the Caribbean schools. There's some UK
Right.
schools and whatnot. There's like 35 of them now.
Wow.
There's a few more that have opened since I even applied. But yeah, I applied to 9 schools my first time around, senior year in undergrad, and I got denied from everywhere,
Yeah.
which was wild. Yeah.
And you pay so much money to fucking apply.
Yeah.
So
I've been
much
there.
money.
I've been there.
Yeah, for
It's
med school,
insane.
right?
I tried, yeah.
It's
Sorry,
no,
guys.
it's in retrospect, like, would I be like a nurse and just like work at a shelters part time?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I would have done. But I really
Yeah.
do love being a vet. I love
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so I got denied from everywhere, and David was like, you should really apply to an island school. And at the time, like, they didn't have the best reputation. And it's not that it wasn't a stellar
Same
school.
with med school though. Like the island
People are
schools
like,
have
oh, you went to an island school? Absolutely not. I would go to Ross 10 times over if I
because
could.
the curriculum is the same. I think where
Yes.
the disconnect is, and I don't know if it's the same for vet school, at least for medical school, it's the residencies that really make you the doctor you are. And,
Yeah.
and it's known that it's harder to get a good residency coming from a
From an
Caribbean, but
island
it's not impossible.
No,
Yeah.
it absolutely isn't. And that's like pretty much the similar thing. So vets don't have to do residencies. So I didn't do a residency. I didn't do an internship. I went straight into general practice, which still allows me to do a lot of stuff. So I can do, I see all of the normal things, like vaccines or just like your average dog that's kind of sick, but I still get to do a boatload of surgeries. Like, and we do everything: soft tissue, orthopedic. I see goats if it's like really necessary. Like we literally see everything. But if you do choose to specialize, you can go on to do a residency.
Okay.
And I don't know of an island student. None of my colleagues, none of my classmates have had a problem doing that. Cool. So David was like,
it's
you really
stigma.
need to. Yeah, it's totally a stigma. Yeah. David was like, you really need to apply to the island school, and I was like, I don't wanna. Like,
Who's
it's so
David?
far. My mom's ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Slash my dad's roommate.
Yeah, they're not dating. They're just like BFFs.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't really want to. So he brought me to a an info session in the city, and he literally had to drag me there. Like, I was so not down, and it was the best decision he could have made for me. Shout out to Ross for giving me a chance.
Shout out to Ross.
You're a real one.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I did 4 years there. They do have an accelerated curriculum. So stateside schools, usually you get the summer off. We did not. So you go all the way through.
But you're on an island.
Exactly. And you get 2 weeks off in between each semester.
Did you feel like that was great? Because imagine going to Boston and it's freezing.
So I finished up at Tufts.
Seasonal depression is a thing.
I love Tufts. The school was great.
Yeah.
But I'm not fit for a Northeast winter anymore.
Yeah.
Me either, and I never left.
Well, the fact that you were on an island, I feel like if you spend more than like 3 months on an island and you come back to some place like New Jersey or Boston, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like flying into Newark, I'm like, I don't love this. Yeah, and St. Kitts is like the best little island. I really made my home of it there. I got to, I met, first off, like the greatest humans ever. Like, I still talk to people from grammar school. I still talk to my friends from high school. I talked to a few people from college maybe, but my vet school friends are like...
Your people.
Yes, they are my human beings, because we were all kind of people who could not get in the States.
You all...
So we're a little quirky.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
You weren't like the prim and proper, like I went to Harvard and I'm a perfect student.
No, we were like a bunch of little degenerates on an island who make damn good doctors.
Yeah. No, I think those are the best doctors. I love that for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What about like if you wanted to be like, I know the specialist you said you can do residency, like, you know how like vets can specialize in like horses? Like, that's like a big deal, like race horses or something.
Yeah, totally. So you don't technically have to specialize to work in a certain animal.
Okay.
So you can, what they call it tracking. So when you're in school, Ross kind of made us learn about everything, but certain stateside schools, you can track large animal or you can track small animal.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you still don't have to do a residency or an internship, but a lot of the things that are a little bit more specialized. So if you want to do like large animal surgery, or if you want to do racetrack, like race stuff, obviously that's like very clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about because it's not my shit. But they at least benefit from an internship.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did we show Banana on the video yet?
I don't think so.
Banana,
Come here.
We brought a friend today. This is Gabby's Banana.
She's her facial expressions are literally on point.
She's a human.
Yeah.
I want to ask about being a vet. Like,
okay, I was gonna
feel
say,
like,
dive in on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I've grown up with dogs my whole life. Literally, I think I popped out of the womb. There were like 3 in my house. There was like 2 in my garage, which was kind of fucked up. But like, it was just like they were everywhere. We always had dogs, and it was like, they're the best thing, but it's also like the moments where like you have to put them down is gut wrenching.
I
so
literally
it's
want
like,
to throw up thinking about it.
So how do you balance that as being a vet? Like, that's like,
there's certain instances where I'm like, you know what, like we are doing the best thing for this little guy, right?
Yes.
But then there's certain cases where like, oh man, like, is there more that we could do? Like, is it selfish to keep going? And that really sucks. So I just call my mom crying on the way home.
oh my God.
Yes.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, there's certain days that I'm like, wow, that was just really hard. Or when you have the most lovely family come in who just loves their dog, I'm like, oh man, I'm just like, I'm doing the right thing for them, but I'm also not.
Yeah.
Like I'm making them so sad, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
But
do you ever feel like you're like, I'm a kid, what am I doing here?
I will sometimes like walk out of a room and be like, they must think that they just saw like Dookie Howser, I'm pretending.
That's a
at
lot
this
of
point.
responsibility on you, like to be like, it's gotta, it's. I know it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm sure your mom tells you the same thing. And she's like, you're a doctor. You have to make those hard decisions. But it's like, you're like, I'm just a person.
Yeah, literally. I say every day, I'm like, wow, this is like, nobody told you in vet school that there's like so many decisions that you have to make for people. And like a lot of times people are super appreciative to just hear that up front and be like, here's what we need to do. And it's not always like euthanasia, but like, like, we need to do blood work today, or like you need to calm down, like it's just an ear infection, you're fine. Like, and
that's
people
me.
are like,
Someone tells me that. Every time my dog's sick, I'm like, he's dying. They're like, relax.
I told you my dog is 4 pounds, so we've always had like 140-pound dogs, like guard dogs in my house. So my dog will like cough weird, and we bring him in the vet.
Your mom's like, we're going.
Yeah, like we have no idea because he's so little.
Yeah, and also like when you have your own pet, like anything happens to my island dogs and I'm the most irrational parent, I'm like, we need a full CT right now. Like I need a CT,
like,
MRI.
take all my credit cards.
Yeah, literally. And my all my coworkers are like, Gabby, like she threw up once. Like please calm down.
She's an upset stomach.
Yeah, like you fed her chicken. She's allergic.
You have to, but at the same time, like you're probably very well rounded as far as like cases go. So you feel like every day is literally a lesson.
Oh my God, all the time. And I really love where I work. So I'm out in Newton, so it's kind of a little bit more rural. I'm at Animal Hospital, Sussex County. Okay. So we're like a lot closer to the border of PA than we are over here.
Oh my God, I'll come visit you. Yeah. We're on good terms, hopefully.
Yeah, only good things. But I get to see so much there because we are a little bit more in a rural area than over here. We have an ER down the street, but we see a lot of emergency cases. We see like a lot of urgent cases. So definitely well-rounded.
Do you ever give like birth to puppies?
Oh my God, we do so many C-sections.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I push puppies out all the time.
Yeah.
That's my third identifier. No, we do C-sections a lot. Okay. Yeah, we see a lot of Frenchies, like little French bulldogs. Yeah.
I would die.
So the job is super, super rewarding.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're like what's your team dynamic? Like you're the vet, so like do you work with a specific nurse?
I am so we have 6 doctors there. Okay. So we're a decent sized practice. We don't work with specific nurses, but honestly, like my team is stellar.
Right.
My coworkers are awesome. All the other doctors I work with are great. Shout out Dr. Courtney. She's my mentor.
Courtney.
I literally ask her, like, oh, like, is this dog breathing right? Like, I double check everything by her.
I literally go 2 + 2. I'm like, this is 4, right?
Yeah, that is me at the clinic. Like, I actually asked somebody the other day, I was like 0.2, but 2 separate drugs, like that'll be 0.4, right? Are we all on the same page?
We're all agreeing, right? We're all witnessing my mentality.
And Dr. Courtney's so great. So I have a team of, a handful of techs. We have surgery techs. We have room techs. Everybody's so great.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I really love that for you. What's like your work schedule like?
So I am Monday and Wednesday morning to close.
What's that?
8:30 or 9. Okay. I'm chronically late, so it's usually 9:15.
I love that.
I'm chronically late.
I love the honesty.
They're so generous to acknowledge that about me and not yell.
Oh my God.
9 to 7:30. Then Thursdays, Fridays, 9 to 5-ish. It depends, like sometimes people show up late or whatever.
Right.
And then every other Saturday, and then one Sunday a month, and then occasionally on my Tuesdays off, I'll be at the Newark Humane Society.
Oh. Wow.
Doing stuff over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been over there, but I did, poke in a few Tuesdays or Saturdays.
Tell everybody about your South Africa experience.
Oh, gang. So
this is so cool. She casually said this. I was like, yeah, you're fucking cool.
Thank you. So I got to go, there's this really great group called Loop Abroad. So they needed a bunch of vets, and we flew out to South Africa, and we were on a private reserve. We did a bunch of, there was like anesthetic studies. We worked with mainly rhino, but we had an elephant there. Like what? And then we did a bunch of Cape Buffalo stuff, which was super rad. Yeah. But it was like, monitoring their anesthesia. We did some horn trimming so that they were like a little bit less
how do you do that?
Yeah, so it's really wild. So they have a fixed wing plane that finds them. It's wild.
Wow.
This plane finds them, a helicopter comes in, the vet darts them. We're following behind them in like these open air trucks.
Wow.
Like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
felt like
I was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then once the rhinos like sedate enough, like we approach it, we do all the things. So they take measurements on it. They take like tissue samples, make sure that like they have a really great database of all these rhino, because there's like a huge poaching crisis right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
people are assholes.
Yeah, we're losing animals in kind of all over the world, everywhere, like at a super alarming rate. But anyway, we're doing our best with the rhino. So yeah, we trim their horns down to like an appropriate length that it's not going to hurt them, but they are also like not a target for poaching.
Oh, so it's specifically, I was going to say, what do they do without you guys?
Yeah, so they They don't need their
without
horn.
without a perfect horn, they won't be killed.
Yes, so they don't even need. They don't even need like an imperfect horn. Like they just need like 4 inches, like somebody's trying to hack their face off.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did that too, and it's on a private reserve, and it's like super controversial. Like some people are like, you know, we shouldn't be trimming their horns. Like we need to be doing other things. But it's
you can't be patrolling the streets of South Africa.
Yeah, and you also
stopping people
it's
day and night.
so hard. Like it's like
if that's how you stop them.
Yeah, and it's not the only thing. Like it's a multifaceted approach. Right. But if it helps and it's not hurting them, then I don't see, I don't see the terrible crime in it.
I agree with you. 100%.
But yeah,
people are gonna be people. Like you can't stop everybody, so you might as well
do our best to like try to mitigate that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool.
It was awesome. I met super, super incredible people there. So it was a trip of I think there was 12 of us, and most of us were vets. We had a few vet techs, and then we met the vets in South Africa, who are like my favorite human beings. I just want to breathe their air for the rest of my life.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were so nice, and we're doing like this really like high stress shit, and they were like, hey, like, do you want to throw a catheter in this thing's ear? And I'm like, it's a rhino.
Oh my God.
They were like, yeah. They were like,
very
here.
Casual about it.
They were so cool. So cool. South Africans, lovely people, or at least the ones I've met. So that was not my first trip. I went again a little bit earlier while I was in school, so we did a bunch of other stuff.
This is like your new hobby.
Yeah, I just love South Africa. Like,
That's awesome.
Catch me there.
Does Dolores have like a panic attack? My mom would literally have a panic attack. She'd be like, you need to fucking sit down for a minute.
Yes. Yeah. Dolores is literally, honestly, not as much Dolores, but more so Frank. Frank is
you're out of control. Like,
you're
out of their reach.
Yes, so
you're out of control.
I'm about to air out Dolores' dirty laundry. I'm so sorry, but Dolores was through Frank on speakerphone. Yeah. And he was like, the day before I left, he's like, is there a way that we can like not make her go? And I'm like sitting in the driver's seat while Dolores is like, no, like she's gonna go. Like, what are we gonna do? He's like, what if we like lose her passport? What if? So you need certain vaccinations to get over there. Like, you don't need yellow fever, but you should probably have it and like other stuff. Right. So Frank was like, what if we just like lose her vaccine certificate or like something? Gosh. And Dolores is like, no, you can't do that. Oh, wow. Sorry, Dolores.
It's okay.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I get it because like I can only imagine having your like small child.
Yeah, and I didn't know a single person there, so I flew there alone. And I stayed in the airport overnight alone in Johannesburg, which is definitely not the safest place. Wow. Yeah. So then I like had to take another flight. I met up with my people there. But everybody
you're a target. You're very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You're a fucking target. They were like, we're watching her.
Yeah. I was like, at first I was super nervous. I was like, honestly, like, we're gonna make it. It's fine. Yeah. People travel alone all the time.
That's what I tell myself.
Also, just having like an Italian father, I can relate to that. My dad was very old school and was very much like, you're leaving the house? I'm like, I'm going down the street. He literally, one time I went to CVS to get my mother a gift, and he followed me. He showed up 15 minutes after, and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, what the fuck are
Maybe
you
he thought you were like meeting a boy or something.
But like, it was just like, so if I ever told him I was going to like South Africa, I think he would lose his mind.
That is
He'd be like, no.
Peak Dolores energy. I will never forget. So my first party, like in middle school, right? I'm out in this kid's backyard, and I fucking look over, and in the neighbor's backyard is my mother standing there. Their house is dark. They're probably not home. And my mother's standing in their backyard.
Wait, she didn't know that?
Watching. Yes, she was just watching us.
Oh my God.
Yes. So that is like major Dolores
pretty
vibes.
Iconic.
Yeah.
You're like, hi.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So
I'm dead.
Yeah, initial trip to South Africa.
Michael Myers over the fence. Like,
yes, straight face, and I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
you're so embarrassing.
Did she know you were gonna be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's incredible.
So she followed you.
Yeah, she was like, she knew I was gonna be there, and I was like, okay, I'm going. It's like we're in 7th grade, like we're not.
Yeah.
Like it's 7th grade.
Your
children.
I love that.
I got it. That's.
I grew up with very similar parents, so I understand.
Yeah.
So anything else about okay, she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
She's taken. Sorry.
Yeah. Tell us how that happened.
I met him on the island that we both went to school at. He's in medical school.
That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's like really wholesome content. He's a really lovely, patient young man. Dolores is obsessed with him. Aww. My dad loves him.
Good.
Frankie would literally crawl into his throat if he could. Frankie loves him. They're so cute. They send each other Family Guy excerpts
I love
all day.
Family Guy.
Yeah, we're
That's
big
so
Family
funny.
Guy. Yeah, Rick and Morty Family Guy.
I watch Family Guy every single night before bed.
So you should come
I fall asleep to it.
Jump in Frankie's bed with us in Basement Doug. That's
I'm like
Basement
so excited
Doug.
to be Basement Doug.
Yeah, Basement Doug is the true hero of the Catania family.
You have to explain that too, but start with boyfriend.
Yes. So Moody's just like the greatest guy ever. Yeah, he's a trooper. He has accepted my dogs full open arms. So we do really love that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
How many dogs do you have right now?
So there's 5 in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Dolores has 1.
Okay.
So dog intermittently comes to visit.
Dog. Guys, okay, get this story about Basement Doug because it was like the highlight of my
yes,
day.
I'm so sorry.
That was
So
incredible.
Basement Doug is Frankie's best friend. He's intermittently, like lived with us for the last few years. And then Dolores at first was like, when we all moved back, me and Frankie, we graduated college, we moved back home. And like we just kind of assumed that Doug was going to be on his way back with us too. And Dolores was like kind of on the fence about it too, because at that time she was supposed to be moving back as well.
Right.
And the last thing she needs is like another child, and we're all adults. So she's like, I am momming 3 adults.
Yeah.
So we just had Dougie in the basement.
Hiding him, guys.
Yeah.
He was like their secret.
Yeah, he was our little secret. But he was great. He was such
That's
a trooper.
amazing.
Yeah, and then Dolores is like, guys, like, why are we doing this? Like, what are you doing? And we're like, Dougie's just here to stay. And she was like, that's fine.
So now I feel
incredible.
like he is a staple of your family at this
Oh
point.
my god,
Yeah.
yeah. He's best friends since they were like 2.
Is he on the new season of Housewives?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
guess because you really don't get edits, right?
Yeah, we don't get edits. I don't know if he's on the new season. I don't know if he was able to film a lot.
Was he like weird about it? Was he like, oh?
No, I think he's like totally down. Dougie is the most down kid. He is just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. The most lovely young man. He works his ass off.
Aw.
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
a restaurant manager.
love
Shout out to Doug.
Love that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Love
meet
that.
him.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're gonna do
question about the season. So you said like they don't send you editing, so whatever goes up, you guys are like watching it for the first time as well.
Yeah. So I think that most of the cast gets the episode like a few days before it airs.
Yeah, but they don't have any say at that
Yeah, I
point.
really don't think they have any say in what goes in. Yeah.
That's so scary.
Yeah, we don't love that.
When you were first, so yeah, why don't you walk us? Okay, so you're a vet, right? Walk us through when your mom got like the call that she was going to be on. Like, what was your first reaction?
Yeah, dude. So Dolores originally was like, she was gonna be on season 1, I think. This is how the story goes. I'm like,
we were
at
children.
this point, like way
we were
too young
kids.
to truly remember
Yeah.
this happened. But I do remember that they wanted her on season 1, and at that point she was going back to school. She was becoming a surgical tech. Like we just weren't in the position for her to like kind of foster
to walk away.
Yeah, exactly. So season 1, she was like, I can't swing this stuff. So they come back however many seasons later, whatever year she started. And she was totally in a different position that she could absolutely handle, like, because it's really demanding. Like, you cannot, during the time that they're filming, like, you cannot have a life.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Don't they just follow you in your life?
No, they're like, you are going to be here. We've got scenes planned for you with all the girls. We've got...
Yeah, like
and
those
then,
dinner parties that just happen to work out.
Yeah.
They are like...
Yeah.
And it's so they need to be filming everything too.
Yeah. Right.
So like they want you just walking around your house, yes, but then like that means you have to be home because it's like it's not like they can go film you at Food Town or whatever.
Right.
Yes. So it's really, really demanding. She was in the position, so she was able to do that. We never like really talked about. We're not a family like that where like we sit down and talk about things.
I feel like Italians normally are though.
No, we
like,
don't. Not
heads up.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, it's really one or the other. So she's like, "Hey, this is what we're doing."
But like,
and
she
we're like,
had
"Oh, bet."
to know, at least from the other seasons of the other cast members, like it was going to affect you and little Frankie.
Yeah, and I think she knows that we're pretty decently well rounded, and at that point, me way more so because I was a junior in college at that point.
You were adults.
Okay.
Yeah. So and Frankie was just about to go into college.
Got it.
And he's already he's always had his game plan. He knows what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a little bit more concerned about the fact that how's it going to make her look and how's it going to benefit us.
Right.
Then she was like, is this going to bother you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm doing this.
Yeah. She was like, get on board or get the
Was she intimidated at all? Because I know she knew Teresa from the past, but like they were all established on the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of forget when she came on too, but like there was a lot of in and out at some point.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of rotating cast members,
which is intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's more, and like literally every season, she's like, I just don't know. Like, am I doing enough that people are gonna like me?
Aww,
and
we like
she
you.
doesn't try. Yeah, and she doesn't try to be. She is truly, and I feel like I get this feedback a lot. Like when people meet Dolores out in public, like she is 150% who she is on camera is who she is at home, who she is at dinner with her friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she is. That is Dolores.
Yeah.
Always.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. So she's always just like, do people like that still?
Right.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
Being organic. Like, it's it's sometimes
Yeah.
not in.
No, it literally,
I know.
like, is that cancel culture for her to just, like, want to be home?
But I think, like, that's why she's personally one of my favorites, is because she just feels so real and it's easier to relate with. Like, sometimes when things are so overdone, it's like, I don't know how to relate. You know what I mean? Like, if there's ever, like, an argument that goes down, I'm, like, automatically on Dolores' side because I'm like, what's going on here?
She's a very level-headed person.
Yeah,
so.
she's real. And I think that comes across, I think she'll attract the right audience with that. At least she's going to attract more real people with that.
But I was saying too, like, she's such a mom. So like, moms can, because if I was a woman their age and, like, you know, I didn't look the way they did, I'd be a little intimidated and, like, sad.
Yeah.
Dude, definitely.
But, like, she's such a mom that, like, there is something to relate to.
Yeah. She, like, definitely, she's totally adopted her, like I said, her life is being a mom.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what else can she do? Like, and she's like mom to all, literally. All my friends growing up, it's like always Mother Dolores.
Wait, can I just say, so when I was messaging Gabby about coming on the podcast, we were messaging, I think, through Instagram first, and then Gabby deleted her Instagram. So one day I picked up my phone and I have a DM from Dolores Catania.
She screenshotted to me. She goes, "This isn't real."
I was like,
I go, "Is it a scam?"
Well, for a second,
know.
I was like, something's got to be off or whatever. But then I saw that she sent me your contact information, whatever, and I was like, oh my God. And I click on it, and it's a verified direct message from a New Jersey housewife. And I'm like, why? What is this day? And then I'm like, yeah, no problem. Oh my God.
You're like,
I remember she was
like, of course.
She was like, you're very pretty. I hope you have a great day. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. And I text Gabby and I'm
such
like,
a mom thing though? Like, your mom would say that to somebody.
But she's also like, she's a mother, but in my eyes, she's Dolores Catania.
Yeah.
So I texted Gabby and I was like, hey, just letting you know, I just had the biggest fangirl moment because your mom slid in my DMs. Like, I was literally like, how did that just happen?
Yeah,
But
dude.
She seems great.
She's
yeah,
lovely.
she seems awesome.
I just love her so much.
We have honestly so many questions for you, so just like cut us off when you
I
feel
know,
like it.
and
Let's do it,
honestly,
let's do
we
it.
keep bouncing around because there's just so many interesting things about you.
Guys, thank you.
You
That's
say
like-
things like, "Oh, I'm Dolores' daughter. I'm Frank's, like, you know, I'm Frankie's sister, or whatever." But there's so many things about you
Guys,
that
thank
we
you.
find
Wow.
personally so cool.
This is like a lot of attention.
What?
I'm not used to.
What do I do?
How did you feel when we messaged you? Were you like, whoa?
I was like,
You're like, why?
You're like,
yeah,
"Ugh,
literally.
these
I was
bitches."
like, me? Like, at first I was like, oh, like, maybe they're going to ask me to, like, swing Frankie through, too. And, like, no. I feel like the show doesn't get enough Frankie. Like,
Yeah.
he is the funniest person I know.
Tell us about Frankie.
And he's
Yeah.
so freaking smart.
Aw.
And, like, 99% of his jokes are, like, history related, which is just, like, we're...
Nerdy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are so nerdy. It's
Yeah. I love
that.
disgusting.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your camaraderie with Basement Doug.
Yeah. Basement Doug is
Yeah.
just everything he says
So
is really
you
funny,
all
too.
live together.
We all live together in Dolores' house that she does not live in.
Love
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like, I was like joking with Gabby earlier. I'm like, your life is so unconventional, but so like normal. Cause like, if I had that opportunity,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would do that.
Yeah.
It's just funny because most people don't. And it's like, I would 1000% live in my parents' house if they were like off living their best life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, dude, Frank and Dolores are off, like, truly thriving. Had one of them moved home, I would be paying a mortgage right now.
Wait, I have to ask because I think in the last season or the season before, there was a time where your dad moved in. How
Oh
was
my
that?
God.
It was...
Your comment when you were like, no hose.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was dead.
Yes.
I was dead. Everyone
No.
watching that show was like, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
were. Yeah, and you know what? So many people were like, "Wow, she has like so much opinion. Like they're letting her live in that house. Like she's gonna tell her dad what to do." And I was like,
Who said all this? Like the
"People on
commentary?
Dolores' comments."
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Wait,
I'm on the show for 3 minutes and they're reaming me.
No, Gab, no.
Yeah, and then I was like, but honestly, it's true because like I was not trying to.
You're
hear
like, I
any
am
of those.
fucking opinionated.
Yeah.
He's my dad.
Yeah.
No, but living with him, I actually got to like fake live with him during COVID, which is the first time I've really.
I feel like you talked about that through the show too.
Yes.
Like, or
Yeah.
Dolores said something about that.
Yeah,
You
like
guys
it was
really
just
haven't-
no, we haven't really. So when he moved back home, it was just him and Dolores because me and Frankie were away at school.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like do every other weekend and like every Thursday or whatever like the deal was when we were little. But yeah, it was short lived because he's with David now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
wild
Is
to me.
that-
Like
I
that's
kinda love
only
that, though.
normal in like
Yes.
housewife life.
I feel like
just-
that's only normal in Jersey too.
Yeah.
Because like
Very
all
true.
my other friends that I have met throughout the country are like, oh, that's like a little bit chaotic. We love it, but it's chaotic. Like it definitely wouldn't happen here.
Yeah.
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 But that is Jersey.
I
Yeah,
love the saying. They're like,
honestly.
that's some Jersey shit.
Yes.
Like that would only go down in Jersey.
I have so much Jersey pride that it's so aggressive.
Do you think
Yeah.
it came more so from the show?
No, I just love New Jersey. And anybody who says New York City is better can go away.
Well, let's ask you now a few Jersey-isms questions because we asked a few of our guests. Like, are you pork roll, Taylor ham?
Taylor ham.
Great.
Taylor ham.
Yeah. Gabby, oh my God, we're done. We're done. Guys, I'm gonna argue with this. That's
we're not even gonna get into it. I say Taylor ham too.
Taylor ham is a very specific type of pork roll that we get in New Jersey, and any other type of pork roll doesn't count because it's too fat. It's not salty enough. It's cut too thick. Like it's not Taylor's ham.
You heard it.
You're gonna come over, and I'm gonna have every type of pork roll, and I'm gonna blindfold you.
I'm a vegan,
and you're gonna tell.
I'm vegan. But I'm still really passionate.
Does Frankie like pork roll?
Yeah, he does.
Does he feel the same about you? Like it's Taylor ham?
I don't know if Frankie is like that. Like Jersey pride.
Then you know what? He will be my dummy, and I'll blindfold him, and he'll tell me which one he thinks is best, and I guarantee it's not going to be Taylor ham.
Yeah.
No, it definitely is going to be Taylor ham.
Okay, we're literally doing this.
What's your favorite Jersey stereotype?
Oh man,
it could be about anything actually, because there's a lot. I
don't know. I guess like the lip injections. It could be the lashes,
the big hair,
the aggressive drivers. The aggressive drivers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody. I'm just like blinkers do not exist. Lanes are made for switching. Left lane only 85 plus.
Windows are made for flipping off.
Yes.
Yellow lights speed up.
No, exactly. Stop signs are not real. Yeah.
Stop signs are optional.
Yeah.
You're literally on the lookout for cops 24/7.
Yes.
You're like just trying to avoid them at all costs.
When I lived on the island, I'm always like looking like all over the place, and they didn't even have stoplights there. Like it's truly, it's like truly third world. But they actually just got some in because I was there recently, and I'm like, wow, you guys have upgraded.
You're getting somewhere.
But I'm always like looking around, or I'm like speeding up through our roundabouts, and my friends are like, you know, like it's a pretty small island. Like we don't have to go. You know, we'll get there. I'm like, no.
I'm just used to this.
Yeah.
I used to be like obsessed with the poof.
The poof is a good one.
Poof.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That used to be my thing in middle school. And
I didn't go to school without the poof on my head.
No, I always straightened my hair until it literally was frying off of my head. Yeah. And then I never had a poof. It was like more of like a flat pullback.
Yeah.
Just because I tried, but it just, you know, I'm not fit for the poof life.
I get that. And as far as like being, I mean, I know you're not on the show, but like you're very involved, obviously, and I'm sure your mom has a lot of opinions about it too. Like, do you think that with everything that's been going on with the show and like just like the 21st century, like do you think Jersey Pride has gotten better or worse with this show?
I think it's gotten better.
Okay,
I feel like people are like very, very proud to be from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I think obviously it's reality TV. It's like supposed to be not real but like funny and like, you know, I get it, like we get it, but I agree, because when I watch the show I'm like, I do that, or I've been there.
Yes.
It's like it's very relatable. And we were just saying like how something really cool about the Jersey franchise as far as like Bravo Housewives is the men. The men fucking make the show,
and that's
They're
like
awesome.
True Jersey men too, is that like they love their guy time.
They're secretly bougie.
Yes, they want to meet for dinner, they want to meet for drinks, and it's just them, and they're probably like in the back room at some cigar lounge, because that's
so
Jersey
great how
men.
guys handle conflict. They're like, you're mad? Me too. Okay.
Yeah. Like, see you later.
Yeah. I love that. But that's, even your dad, like, I actually think it's so funny because I was obsessed with Joe and your dad on the show.
Yeah.
Because they're just they're such dads.
They
are.
My
God.
Frank is like a real Jersey dad too.
I'm like, that's my dad. Like
that's so funny.
Yeah. They're truly, I love all the men. I'm just saying, like, I know they were the first real two to get
be
interviews and whatever. And I love that about our franchise. I think it's so cool.
Yes,
they have their own platform.
I really love that they've integrated the men too, because it really does bring like because Jersey's so family,
right?
Yes.
Jersey's so family, and like, you know, even though like Frank and Dolores aren't together, like it's totally.
I love their dynamic.
I love their
dynamic is great.
Yeah,
but like Jersey is that, like it's not just the mom, it's not just like what is she doing out, like like they are.
It's
their
family.
life is home. Their life is home. Their life is their family. Their life is their kids,
completely
their
agree.
husband.
I know that's the only franchise I watch, honestly, just because it feels so relatable too. Like they're walking down the street, and I'm like, oh my god, I live there. And like
I watch
cool.
Salt Lake City because it's new. As far as what, you know, when you were younger, because like your dad and your mom weren't together for a majority of your childhood, like how was that? Were they always this good with each other?
So, and I know both of my parents have said this a lot, Dolores made this work. Like, she made it her life's work to make sure that we had a really cohesive family unit. Oh my god, awesome. Absolutely, yeah. She ate a mile of shit to make sure we had a good family.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that I mean, the divorce rate is like disgusting.
Yeah, it's wild.
So but like it makes me sad because I don't believe in soulmates. Like I don't think that you're meant for one person at 18, the same person at when you're 45. Like,
no, absolutely not.
So I think
if you are, that's great.
I love
I'm
that
so
for
happy
people,
for you.
But I think
I'm
that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody at such a young age. It's like pick a career at 16. It's like, whoa, bro. Like,
and we just like evolve as like human beings, and if you guys can't evolve on the same level, like that's not anybody's fault. That's not his fault. It's not her fault. Exactly.
So I think their dynamic is really cool, and I hope that people that are in situations like that, like if I ever I'm not really, again, it's like a lot easier said than done. Like divorce is difficult. It can get messy. Like emotions are involved, but
it's
I think
expensive.
She did a really good job about making sure putting herself last.
Yeah, no, she really did. So her like top priorities when we were little was Frank was going to be there for every holiday. He was going to be there for every birthday. There was not going to be something that he was excluded from.
Yeah.
And she said, so we were super, super little. Frankie was like infantile and I was 3.
Infantile.
And yeah, literally. And she was like, she asked a friend, she's like, how do I make sure that like my kids don't end up so traumatized from this? And she was like, the major thing is your fights are not their fights. So she never once, neither of them ever spoke bad about each other to us.
That's wonderful.
That's now as adults, I'll like Frank will call and he's like, your mother doesn't answer her phone for like 4 days at a time. Like it's like stupid little shit like that.
It's different now though. Yeah.
But their fights,
you're all like adults now.
Yeah, exactly. Their fights were never our fights.
Yeah.
That's great.
Which
and
was
they probably
really
put on a really good face, even if they were fighting, you didn't know.
Totally.
That's awesome.
That. Yeah. Honestly, that's so commendable because I know how hard that can be.
Yeah, it could be, especially like Frank was not easy, and there's times that sometimes Dolores has a temper that literally goes through the roof. She has a temper.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And Frank can like diffuse her. She's just.
Has she ever like freaked out? You seem like a really like mature child.
Yeah. Dolores, I can't think of a time that
other than when she showed up at your party.
And she never even like freaked out. She was just like, yeah, I'm here to watch. Like just make sure that you guys aren't crazy. I don't know if she ever really freaked out at me.
Or even Frankie.
There was a period in time that Frankie was a very difficult young man.
No.
Yes. And they recovered very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, but Frankie was just really difficult because he was like he was so good. He's never drank. He's not like that at all. But he had a girlfriend that was very difficult.
Oh, okay.
And she wasn't mean. She wasn't bad for him. But Dolores and the situation just didn't mesh.
Yeah.
And that is very important.
Yeah, it's very important.
It's also very Jersey mom, too.
Yeah.
Like, her only son has his girlfriend.
And her baby.
Yes.
He's the youngest.
Also, yes.
But rightfully so. That's her son. Like, she wants the best for him.
Totally. So it was nobody's fault, but they just didn't mesh at that time.
Yeah.
And
that caused some tiffs.
Yeah, caused some tiffs. And Dolores would just, like, Are you okay, though, gang?
So does your mom do anything other than Housewives?
She does a lot of philanthropy.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's like her thing.
That's
also
but
why
that's
she's
like
one of my
literally her
favorites.
whole life.
Yeah.
So like our garage right now, with the holidays coming up, our entire 2-car garage is filled with donations.
Wow.
Yeah, just like a bunch of stuff. She runs to the shelter. She does a lot for Halfway Home, the rescue. She does a lot for animals in general.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so she really found a way to.
Oh my God. Okay.
She found a way to use a platform.
That's
her platform
awesome.
for really, really good.
Yeah. That was another reason that in the first like season or two when I saw her and she was like going to the homeless shelters and things like that and like helping people with their families like that.
And she brings the
off.
girls along. She's like, you're all helping people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, every single housewife, she has never met with any type of hesitation. Everybody's like it's so generous of that whole cast. To
That's
be like,
great.
We are so down.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Well, honestly though, we need to get into the tea.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, wait. I have 2 that I'll start with. Between your mother and father, who do you think you're more like?
Oh my God.
Or do you have like little pieces of?
I think that I'm a very healthy mesh of both of them.
Okay.
With like a titch of unhealthiness from both of them as well.
That was perfectly put.
Yeah.
Perfectly put.
Yes.
So like politically correct.
Yeah, thank you. No,
Very
I just feel like I'm a lot of Dolores, but I also have a lot of Frank. Like people say, me and Dolores have the sympathy of the devil is literally what we say. Like we feel bad for no one. Like nobody. That's like if somebody comes crying to me with like some self-inflicted shit, like
you're
Banana, please don't make a scene. Yes, and like obviously serious things, like of course, but she's like, oh my God, like
you have no patience for bullshit.
Yes, and like we are not tolerant of any of that.
Good.
But like also my dad cries at Extreme Home Makeover, and like if I see literally anything relatively emotional, I'm like.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
My dad's really emotional too.
Yeah,
That
Frank
is so funny.
literally like those reels of like military people coming home to their dogs.
They get me too.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me,
Yeah.
they make me sob.
Yes.
But like literally, Frank Catania will sob.
I can see
Oh my
that.
gosh.
He cries at movies. He's a very sensitive man.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're a good mix.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a healthy mix of both
Nice.
of them. But I also have a little bit of a temper like Dolores and Frank as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank has calmed down in his old age. Dolores.
Yeah, so don't fucking
His old age.
Yeah.
definitely don't be trolls on her on the
Yeah,
the internet
yeah.
because we'll come find you.
My next question is, who's your favorite housewife besides your mom?
Oh man.
It could have changed. I
Or
guess.
someone that you're like close to off
I
cameras.
am incredibly close to Marge.
Okay.
I speak to her a lot. I think that I would have to almost venture to say I'm closer with Joe Beningo. He has literally taught me all things okay for my house.
Yeah.
Like, the heat's out. He's gonna come
How
over
to be
in a
an
blizzard.
independent woman.
Yes. Heat's out. He comes over in a blizzard and he's like, "Here's how we're gonna fix this." Or like our pool filter was broken and he was like, "Here's how we're gonna fix this. I'm gonna walk you through every bit of it. Here's
that.
the physics of it.
That's such a
Here's
dad.
how we're gonna fix it all." Like,
I
yeah.
love that.
Yes. Marge, I talk to her a lot, but I almost have to say Joe is like my
Favorite
Joe's
housewife?
your favorite.
Yes. Yeah, Joe is my
Yeah,
favorite.
Joe
Oh my
Gorga
gosh.
is my favorite guy. Like he just makes me laugh so much. Like if
Yeah.
I had to pick a guy.
But they're all super lovely, and I think that me and Frankie are super lucky to have had a long-standing relationship with
Yeah.
Teresa, and secondary, we have one
Yeah.
with Melissa and Joe.
Were your mom and Teresa and like your family's close?
Yeah, like
Okay.
growing up, like I definitely remember them at family parties. Like obviously
Yeah.
we were all so little.
Yeah.
But I have
mean,
like
the girls were. You were
yeah,
little.
all of us were
when it
little.
started.
But yeah, no, and even before that, like Dolores is really she goes way back with Joe and Teresa.
Right. Yeah.
And the newer girls are lovely too. I don't know Danielle as well, but
Okay.
Rachel I've known just through my dad because she's a friend of Brittany's.
Yeah.
I think is that like everybody?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Jen
that's-
is incredibly generous, which I don't think people get a good view of on the show.
Oh, okay. What is your favorite part of being on reality TV, and what is your least favorite part?
Man, my least favorite part is probably I am like cripplingly awkward in front of the camera.
No, you're not.
Not this
I don't
camera.
think- yeah.
I think we're doing great, but it's also like really easy to talk to you
doing
guys.
great.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
you're doing great, sweetie. But it's also like this is like super conversational, and you guys are like
Yeah.
easy to talk to. Whereas, not that they tell you what to say, but they're like, here are the topics that we want to hit for today's filming.
Yeah.
And then I'm like constantly like trying to be like as polite, and I'm also just naturally very awkward. So then I just feel like I don't come off as myself,
Yeah.
which is like I'm not myself, but I'm just like not my most authentic form.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Like,
it's hard to be
goofiness.
though.
Yes.
Like there's like
Yeah.
cameras and lights and producers,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, just have lunch.
Yes, literally. And Dolores and Frank and like all the other housewives too, like they kill that. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, let's go. Like these are just like any other lights.
Yeah.
I'm literally like. Do you guys watch The Office where they look into the
Yes.
camera?
Yes,
and
I
that is
fucking
me.
love that.
That
And
is
they're
me.
like, don't do that. Kid.
Yes, yeah. They're like, you're an embarrassment. But my favorite part is probably what Dolores has been able to do with her platform. Yeah, and just like being able to use those resources because like obviously on a way lesser scale, I have had like some ability to like reach out, do things.
Yeah.
But probably everything that we
No
can do
offense,
because
Gavin,
of
we
it.
would not have you on if you weren't Dolores' daughter.
Yeah, thank you. I
Just be another
know.
person.
Yeah, I would just
Not
be
to
literally.
rude, but like
Wait, Allie's
I'm glad.
be
I'm
some
glad
rando.
that's the case. Like, I'm glad we got to meet you. But like, yeah, normally,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You, like I said, you have different opportunities than most people.
Yes, exactly. So it has opened a lot of really incredible opportunities.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
awesome.
Is there anything on this upcoming season that like you're looking forward to?
Man.
Like, does your mom? You know what? Let me rephrase. When your mom is okay, they record in the summer, right?
Yeah, they film in
Okay.
the summer.
So your mom knows, okay, whatever. May 2nd, we're gonna start recording. Does she get anxiety and then the show goes on and she'll obviously you talk to her every day, like she'll update you on things and you're like, oh, that's gonna be good fucking TV. Like
Yes.
you ever, like-
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes she's like, Gabby, you're never gonna believe what happened.
Right.
Or like, honestly, not even that is what happened. She's like, Gab, you will never believe what your father just said. And then I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna have to hide away for 3 weeks, but I'm sure people will love this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what's funny about reality TV. It's like you're mortified, but everyone's gonna
People
live for
love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
ever
really
feel
do.
like overwhelmed with like trolls or like I know you said the negative comments would get to you? Are you afraid of that to like really? Because for instance, like Gia's she's got interviews now.
Yes.
So would you do that or is that like not for you?
I don't think that's for me. Just
Okay.
because like I'm I would be like just too nervous to say something wrong and
Right.
like
Yeah.
just not like Gia also has grown up with it, so she has the ability to be like way
Ellie.
more authentic. But yeah, like Gia has had the ability to like learn how to adapt with that.
Right.
Just because she's been around it so long and during her like most formative years too. I just don't think I have that like personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. How do you? I know you said you guys aren't like best friends, but
Yeah.
obviously you're in this like niche together. Has she ever reached out to you, like you being older, to be like, hey?
Gia has not come
Okay.
to me for anything. I think that she's just so much more. First off, she's so mature.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
she's sometimes like
She's
a motherly
so
figure.
yeah. She's so mature. But also like she's been in this game like way longer than I have and way
Right.
more exposed in it. Like there's nothing I could tell her that she doesn't already know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fair. But even
Yeah.
just like being an adult.
Gia really took that role, and she told us like when we first started, like me and Frankie, and also the Wakili kids were very kind
That's
as well.
so great.
And they were like, hey, like if you guys have something,
If you need help.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you need help navigating this, like we're here for you.
That's
whatever you
awesome.
need. Yeah, so that was really cool.
That
That's
is really
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Is there any tea that you can share about this upcoming season? If not, that's fine.
What the fuck did
No.
Frank say?
Yeah, dude, I can't think of anything that Frank said off the top of my head because we
Okay.
really told him to rein it in this season. Last season, that dinner episode
Oh my
did not
God.
do me or Frankie justice. So
I thought that was
Oh.
amazing.
I thought that
Your
was
mom
atrocious.
Looked like she was going to kill him.
I wanted to stand up and vomit all over our dinner. Like my head got dizzy.
Oh my
So yeah, we told Frank to just rein it in a little bit because me and Frankie do have professional lives that like
Yeah.
we don't need like millions
That
of
is
people.
really like unfair too, because like no one remembers that you guys are people.
Yes. And like literal professionals. Like not a lot of people come to me and are like, hey, like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. But
Right.
I can imagine that, like, for Frankie, like, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, you guys are seeing a lot of Pauly this season.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
So there's some tea. A lot of Dolores' new boyfriend.
Do you like Polly?
I do.
Okay.
Pauly's a lovely, lovely man. He's very, I think he's very good for Dolores.
He's like enthralled by your mom.
Yes, he really is. So
saw
I
his
think
Instagram.
that yes,
Yeah.
yeah, his Instagram is all Dolores and dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like has really open dog with taken in dog with open arms.
Yeah.
I love it.
All summer long, I was just like working my ass off, and then I went to South Africa, so I
Yeah.
missed everything. But I will say the softball game this year is awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, they did the softball game again at Maimonides, and that was like a great time.
That
Okay,
was
cool.
actually like, it's such good reality TV.
Yeah, it makes great TV. There was a
Yeah.
lot going on, and there's like, unless you're at the softball game, you don't realize like there's so many people there. There's so many people
Yeah.
on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Cameras are everywhere. It's
Right.
like it's so chaotic.
Yeah,
Right.
you only see with like what their camera crew shows you, and it's
Yes.
just like their inner circle, but there's so
It's
much going on.
Chaotic, and there's so many people there. Just
That's
like
great,
on
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure they raise a lot of money.
yeah. They did. They raised a
Wow.
whole bunch of money.
That's great.
so cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna just end on like a wholesome note, I guess, of family. You know, being on a reality TV show comes with a lot of pros and cons. So, you know, where there are cons, like how does your family deal with that? Do you guys like get together and talk about it, or is it just like how does that go down?
So we have a family group chat. It's the name of our street, which
Love
is
that.
yeah. So if we film something and we're like in retrospect we didn't love that, we throw it in the family group chat,
Okay.
and we're like, hey, let's maybe like never do something like that again. Yeah, like
Like
maybe
what?
let's not say
Okay.
those things.
Yeah.
Certain things.
Yeah.
Got it.
Frank. It's usually like at Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, like
Oh, poor guy. He's just
Yeah.
trying to like be himself.
yeah, he's just trying, and his truest self really comes out.
I love
but
that.
Other than that, like we're just really lucky that people are super receptive of our kind of like quirky family.
Yeah.
We're super super lucky.
Yeah.
Banana's thirsty. Do you have any questions for us? Are you
Yeah.
okay? Do you
No.
want to talk about anything specific?
No.
Okay.
We're doing all good things. You guys are
Yeah.
so lovely.
Oh my God, Gabby, thank you.
Yeah.
We
it's
love
like so
Gabby.
easy to talk to you guys.
I feel so good about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because honestly, that is I never want to make someone feel uncomfortable.
No,
Yeah.
you guys will. First
Okay.
off, you've been like so awesome with all of this, but I literally put you guys on when I'm cleaning my house and answer your questions
that.
to each other.
I love
I
that.
love
Like
that.
that is so embarrassing, but it's
No,
true.
that
Yeah.
makes us so happy.
Yeah, like when you had your stylist on, I was like, oh yeah.
That was a fun one, actually. Okay, well, thanks for joining. This was
Yes,
a pleasure.
thank you
Thanks, guys.
so
I-
much.
You're welcome back
Gabi.
anytime.
Yeah, that's like so nice of you guys to ask me to do this. I'm like, wow, they want this fucking loser on here.
No, you were the first person I was like,
Wow.
I was like, we should ask Gabby. And the whole time I was messaging you, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna think I'm so weird or such a loser.
No,
Like,
You're very
Absolutely not.
relatable, and I
Thank
hope you
you.
know that.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
I really
why.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Gabby. Everyone, check out Halfway Home Rescue Shelter. It was such a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Honestly, this was great. You're welcome anytime.
Yes.
Wow, you guys are the
please.
best. Thank you.
All
Find
right.
you guys in Hoboken.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Find
Yeah.
us anywhere. Like, message us. We'll be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gang, gang.
Okay.
All right. Everyone, okay, thanks,
Ellie.
Ellie's closing us out today. Thanks so much, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Definitely check out Gabby. Check out The Real Housewives of New Jersey if you have not. Make Dolores your favorite housewife, obviously. And definitely check out Halfway Home Animal Rescue Shelter. And yeah, we hope you're having a great Monday. So we'll see you next week.
See you next time.
See you later, family.
Bye.
Bye.